Welcome back to Community Matters. I'm Bill Maye. The topic today is the benefits of animal therapy. With me now is the founder of the nonprofit Fuzzy Faces, Bonnie Dennis, and with her is Lynn Rasmussen, Vice President of Canine Therapy, and her rescue dog, Rin. And to both of you, well, to all three of you, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
Well, Bonnie, why don't you start with telling us a little bit about Fuzzy Faces?
Fuzzy Faces is a brand new 501c3 charity, and it was born when we had the opportunity to purchase 17 acres of land. Our history is canine rescue for decades. We founded Southeast German Shepherd Rescue in 2010, and when the opportunity presented itself to expand the rescue more into therapy and rescuing critically endangered animals for partnership with humans and educating people about what's important with regard to heritage breeds, everything came together and just seemed like a good thing to try.
It sounds like win-win for everybody. Lynn, tell me about Rin.
Well, Rin is a rescue dog from...
Stay, Rin, stay. Very excitable.
He's highly excitable, so everybody watch out. Rin is a rescue dog from Southeast German Shepherd Rescue. He came up out of a bad situation in Caswell County. I evaluated him in his foster home for this therapy work and determined that he was ideal for this kind of work. He's very trusting, and he's open and social, and he's goofy. You know, I wanted to really highlight the fact that the German Shepherd dog breed is really just a very intelligent breed that wants to work and wants to be with their person, and have the community and the public see German Shepherds doing goofy, social, easy, fun things like therapy dog work.
Well, tell me a little bit about therapy dog work. What is that?
Well, at the core, therapy dog work came up out of early wars, World War I and World War II, where soldiers noticed that when they brought dogs into hospitals, field hospitals, that the patients did better. And that made its way throughout the ages into the 70s and 80s when therapy dog organizations became more sort of solid and working with teams that went out to respond to requests. Therapy dog work can vary from reading to students or having students read to the dog. It can be visiting with a patient that has a mental status that they can't maybe communicate with people, but they can communicate at a base level with dogs. Dogs and animals in general have a very primal way of communicating with people. They don't need words. They simply share energy and body language. And you know, there are studies that show that it even lowers cortisol and stress hormones and makes people feel great. So.
Well, and they do. I mean, they really do. Anyone who's had an animal in their life know that.
Right.
But it's more than dogs now, right?
It is. That's where the animal conservancy part comes in. The idea was born, why not take endangered farm animals that are gentle in disposition, why not make a home for those animals, offer adoption opportunities for the public to adopt those animals, but if you don't have a place to adopt, come to the farm, interact with the animals. We had a volunteer, we picked up one of our ducks and she petted the duck. She said, "Oh my gosh, I've never petted a duck. It's so soft, it's so sweet." And just that few minutes of interaction releases the oxytocins. That's the love hormone. So whether it's a rabbit, whether it's a duck, whether it's a miniature horse, whatever it is, just petting the animal makes you feel good. And the flip side is it makes the animal feel good. They have the oxytocins too. So it's an opportunity to make a place where people can feel safe and interact with animals. And if they have a place to take one home, then fill out the adoption application and take
them
your
home.
own home
Yes.
and bring them back to visit.
Well, you've done this for a while now, so can you see the change in an individual when they're petting the dog, or maybe it's a horse or a duck?
I actually do some separate work with Wake Med hospitals, and when we go into the hospital, it's not only patients that we see a change in, we see change in staff, we see change in family. You know, we've even had a patient that really wasn't interested in engaging with anybody, but as soon as Rin came in, you can see it here, and you can feel it and see it in the body language. and they sort of click in where before they were sort of clicked back and not really engaged. It's just something primal, as I said. So, going forward with a therapy routine from a provider that is a prescription for action, I haven't had the chance to observe, but I can't wait to, because I can only see where we could make huge differences.
Well, I know just in my own personal life, my mother needed it, and it's phenomenal. It's absolutely phenomenal. How can people help? I'm sure there's lots of ways you would like them to help, and what is it that you need, and how can they get a hold of you?
Well, the website is fuzzyfacesrescue.org. There are lots of opportunities to help. We have a lot of volunteers, but we can always use more hands on deck. Whenever we put out a call for help, we generally get a very good response. We have excellent volunteers and board members. Also, anybody that's in the community that is a business person, we would love to partner with businesses and display their signage, display their logos on any materials they'd like to donate. We're in the process of trying to fence in the property so that we can get more endangered animals like the Arapawa goat, so that we can have more opportunities on the farm for people to see these critically endangered animals and learn about them. So materials, funding, whatever the business would like to do to partner with us, that would be great. Individuals as well, anything they'd like to do. We've got ponds and tables and animals, and it's just a really nice place to come hang out and see what we're about.
Sounds like an awesome job, guys. I'll tell you what. Well, thank you both for being here. Really appreciate it. In fact, I'd like to thank all of our guests for joining us today, and thank you, of course, for watching. We hope you've learned more about these local nonprofits, and if you have any questions or would like to know more, visit our website at WRDC-TV.com. I'm Bill LeMay. Thank you for watching Community Matters on WRDC, and we'll see you next week.